I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Network. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk about Chicago. Lori Lightfoot, that's right. Because there's something new going on up there. Well, I'm going to say new, but it's something more new to the news cycle anyway, besides just rampant gunshot wounds and people falling over dying from gang warfare up there in Lori Lightfoot City. She's got a yet another issue. Lost in all of this is the fact that almost every criminal offense has escalated in Chicago besides just the totals we've talked about every week involving gun violence, especially over weekends. I did a video a couple days ago, 3,200 people shot from January through November, 637 dead up there. And now there is a new crime wave, a new issue. There is a massive issue now with robbery sprees. That's right, Chicago robbery sprees. Get this, 14 Chicago robberies reported across the city over the weekend prompts a warning from police. And we also have a story, an instance where a citizen has taken it upon himself to defend himself from one of these robberies, and we're going to go over that. A group of armed thieves reportedly robbed several victims on the north and west sides early Friday morning, prompting police to put out an alert. Then Sunday, police issues another alert after at least 4 more armed robberies, bringing the total to 14 this weekend. They said at least 10 separate attacks happened in less than 2 hours. And that's the thing. They're saying that these groups that are robbing people are hitting certain streets, and they're just doing it, committing a shit ton of armed robberies in like 2 or 3 hours and then booking out. It's pretty crazy. Victims were targeted in Westtown, Logan Square, Irving Park, the Lower West Side, Ukrainian Village, Hoboken Park, Noble Square, and Palmer Square, police said. Police said in each attack, thieves used force to steal victims' belongings. In one case, they hit a victim in the head before driving away. Chicago police described the suspects as 3 males between the ages of 17 and 30 wearing dark clothing and ski masks. They were armed with dark-colored semi-automatic handguns, CPD said. And it goes on to have a list of times and streets you can find over at abc7chicago.com. So now that we've got to that, let's check this out, because a concealed carry holder shoots 2 of these assholes. That's right. Defended himself. A 56-year-old man said, I've got a gun. I've got a concealed carry permit. I'm going to fight back. Good for him. Good for him. If Lori Lightfoot cannot get her streets under control, maybe it's legal, law-abiding citizens that's going to have to step up to protect themselves up there. A 56-year-old concealed carry holder shot 2 would-be teen robbers this morning in Chicago after the suspects pointed a gun at him and demanded his belongings, police say. The incident unfolded around 6 a.m. in the city's west side when a vehicle with, quote, 3 males inside approached the victim who was inside his own vehicle. Chicago police told Fox News Digital. Quote, one of the individuals got out of the vehicle, pointed a firearm at the victim, demanded his belongings. A struggle ensued before the victim, whom police say legally owned a firearm, was a concealed carry license holder, withdrew his weapon and fired several rounds. I'm surprised it took him that long. Chicago police say the offending vehicle then attempted to flee but crashed nearby. The driver of the suspect's vehicle sustained a gunshot wound to the head, was taken to a local hospital in critical condition. A second male was found several blocks away with a gunshot wound to the shoulder. That suspect was taken to a hospital in serious condition. The third male involved in the incident, who was in the back seat of the offending vehicle, sustained a broken leg in the crash and was transported to an area hospital in fair condition. Police added that all victims were unidentified teens between 15 and 18, while the victim targeted in the alleged robbery attempt was not injured. So we got a law-abiding citizen with a concealed handgun license that said, I'm going to defend myself against these creeps. Bravo. I mean, what else can these citizens do up there at this point? I mean, really, that radical leftist mayor, like I said, who instead of doing all these other things to check these social boxes, that she's her priorities are in all the wrong places. She's got a city that is completely under fire. I've talked about the fact how this should be treated as almost a wartime situation in that city, and she should be, I mean, in lockstep with the cops, a war room set up, and with some kind of strategic plan that she should be directly involved with on a continuous basis. I mean, what in the world in that town could be more important at this point than stopping crime? Because the crime is affecting other things like businesses. Okay? Not only businesses trying to conduct day-to-day business and run their businesses, but big corporations choosing to fly the coop, throwing their hands up and leaving town because of crime situation. McDonald's said that they can't recruit in because, I mean, obviously, if you're somebody, you just graduated college, you're thinking about going to work somewhere, McDonald's is recruiting you, and you find out it's in downtown Chicago or wherever it's at, do you really want to go to work up there? I'd be like, not a chance in hell am I coming to Chicago. All right, so there is a trickle-down effect. It affects the economy. I mean, everything, right? You got the Chicago Bears, in part talking about moving to Arlington Heights because of crime. Crime is absolutely an influence on that situation because they're like, regardless of where Soldier Field is, if we move to Arlington Heights, we just don't have to worry about it. So it all goes hand in hand, and bravo to the concealed carry holder that said, I've had enough. He pulled his gun and popped a cap in the dude. And in two dudes, it looks like. So it is what it is. I mean, these people, I'm sure there are so many people that are fed up with what's going on up there in that city. We get a enormous amount of subscribers from these Chicago videos where you can tell people want to know what's going on in their area. Is anybody talking about this, because I suspect a lot of the media up there, when I really start looking around, if I'm being real, there's not a lot of actual critical stories about Lori Lightfoot. Why should it surprise us that the media would be covering another Democrat, even on a more local level like mayor? Okay, this is one of also the most high-profile mayors in all of the United States of these America. So, tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Not just people getting shot, not just people dying, but armed robberies is now a massive issue up there. A robbery spree, like they're calling it. Almost something like you would see back in the Capone era, right? Or even the Western days, all the train robberies. Well, now we get to deal with that in Chicago. They get to deal with that in Chicago. Peace, I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First, 25% off USA First. Go now.